This had to change. I wasn't getting the results I wanted in keto, and I had been doing it for long enough where I think something should have been moving more than it was. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chad. Been doing carnivore for over 3.5 years, lost over 100 pounds, and numerous life-changing benefits as you hear about so many do on carnivore. And I'd love to hear your stories as well. Let's go. Now, how I got into this keto was, a buddy of mine told me about it, and he had really good weight loss and was doing really well. And he told me about this ketosis, and it almost sounded like a science experiment. Ketosis. You have to get into ketosis and stay in ketosis. So I looked into it a little more, and I was like, wow, I can still have chicken teriyaki? That's pretty cool. Almost all the sites back then seemed to be wrapped around these keto bombs. There were chocolate and everything else. And you could have all these cookies, and you could have keto bread and keto teriyaki chicken. And I love teriyaki chicken. Oh, but I wasn't going to be able to have rice. Oh, wait, hold on. Keto has like 7 alternatives to rice. So I thought, okay, this could work. It's pretty cool. I can have all these great things. And so I think I was kind of sold on it. Talking more to my buddy, getting some ideas, I set out on my journey. Now at that point, I just wanted to lose weight. And I think a lot of you can relate to this. You just want to get rid of the old fat you and get on to the new you. You're not really thinking 5 years down the road. You're thinking more like 5 or 6 months down the road. I'd like to start feeling better and looking better. And again, my buddy had these great results, so I thought, okay, this should do it. Now, a little bit up front, I don't like veggies, and I really don't care for fruit. I was a bread guy. I was a pasta guy. Big rice guy. Rice was an island staple, and that's something I had to have with almost every meal. So I had those alternatives to rice. I had alternatives to bread, and there were even alternatives to the pasta. I had chicken cordon bleu, my chicken teriyaki, of course, all my desserts, and all my keto bombs. And nothing really happened. I was still fat. I might have felt a little better, but I hadn't really changed my clothing size or anything else. There was a big part of me that was thinking, something's not right about this. And I remember very specifically eating these chocolate cookie bars in a pan with my wife, thinking, man, these things are good. But this just can't be right. This is just too good to be true. And the fact that I'm not losing weight, I think something's wrong. Now, I don't blame keto for this, and I'm not going to blame myself, because this is what keto was about then. It was about fat bombs and all these other things. And we know that's not really the case today. It's about a healthy way of eating that happens to get you in ketosis. I made a conscious decision to cut back on all the snacks and all the junk and not make so many of these keto bombs and things. But I still kept eating keto pancakes. I'd make these huge chaffle buns and have hamburgers. And instead of French fries, I'd have a bunch of pork rinds. Instead of ketchup, which they make keto ketchup. Now, the great thing is I loved barbecue sauce back when I was overweight. And they have keto barbecue sauce. So here it was, 2 chaffle burgers loaded with barbecue sauce, tons of sour cream, and tons of pork rinds. And I'm wondering why I didn't lose weight. Yeah, I know now. But then I thought, hey, this is going to work. Now, the other thing I did love about it is I love mac nuts and I love pistachios. So I could basically eat as many as I wanted, it sounded like. As long as my carb count was in check. And of course, I got a keto mojo, check my blood. And then it started occurring to me, it's like, this is a lot of work. You got to kind of count the carbs, you got to count this, you got to check this. And to be optimum, I think the pricking of the finger and getting your blood does kind of help you stay in ketosis. I know not everybody does that. Now, I remember watching this National Geographic on these cheetahs, and they were getting ready to go on this hunt, and I saw one whip out his phone, and with his fuzzy little pad start hitting, see, they don't do that. They just run out, get what they're going to eat it till they're full, and then they come back and hang out with their buddies underneath the trees. I kind of wanted that cheetah way of eating. Now, if you're enjoying this, I'd really like it if you would hit the like button, hit the bell notification, so I can spread this out to more people. These days, there's keto treats all over, and you pick them up and they're loaded with sugar. Now we know that's not keto, but it's being marketed as keto. Back in my day, I think it was too many fat bombs and too many of these like, hey, you can have all this goody junk. And sure, it's keto, but it's not healthy keto. I think today's ketovore and really making it animal-centric, meat-based is a much healthier way to go. And this brings me to one big point. Keto did not change my mindset on food or break those old habits and form new ones. I had barbecue sauce before and I have it now. I have all the snacks I want and I have them now. I had all the desserts I want and I actually probably had more on keto than ever before. And I think the important part of losing weight is this up here. It's the mental. How did I get here? Why did I get here? I obviously have a food issue. How can I get rid of that food issue? Now, if you're coming to this without being overweight, purely from a point of, I'm just trying to heal something particular, you're probably in a different position than a lot of us that did come into it for the weight loss. So with these complications, I was really starting to kind of get like, oh, this is just a lot of stuff. And again, jumping back to those cheetahs, I'm glad my friend jumped in about this time because he had found this thing called carnivore. He told me about it, and it was pretty wild because it was like, you just eat meat. And I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm a minimalist. I actually like less things. This is overcomplicated and kind of freaks me out because I don't really like all the extra junk and all the prep and all the time. So I thought, okay, I can do this. There's no weird ketosis to get in and out of. I don't have to check everything. So there I was, set ready to jump into carnivore. I did kind of feel better, but I was still in the same size clothing, in the same ways. But I think I'd learned a great lesson about what health should be about. And it wasn't just about what we eat, it's why we eat it. And I think just this mental thing about breaking, and I say it over and over, breaking those old habits and forming new ones. And little did I know, for the next 3.5 years, I'd be doing this carnivore diet, and it would be so life-changing. Now, I put out videos on the carnivore diet. I'm not going to go into basically from that point on. I just kind of wanted to cover how I went through keto, found it didn't really work, learned a lot of things that really I apply today. The habits, the mental attitude, everything else. And also, again, I love keto. I love clean keto. And I think it's a great way to transition into carnivore. And when we look around the community today, there are so many people that have come into carnivore through keto. It's amazing. And I think they were doing the same thing I was. They were looking for that health and didn't quite find it, or they didn't find it and didn't like the complications, jumped into carnivore. I think more have healed on carnivore than keto. I just think it's the better way. As I say, carnivore was my door to weight loss in this way of living. But carnivore unlocked that door and let me fully get in. And now I'm here telling you guys about it because I am so passionate about this movement. The community is great. There's so many people here to help you. And the same is said for the modern keto or ketovore community. There's so many people out there that I wish I had 4+ years ago when I started this journey that we don't have. So whether you're keto, ketovore, or carnivore, we're all in this together. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the bell and notification icon. Stay carnivorous, my friends. Anda hui ho. And you might like this video of 1 year looking back on carnivore. Check it out.